When I start bringing financing into discussion is when we start talking about price. If you tell a customer that this tractor is X amount of dollars and you see their eyes roll back in their head, then you have to start talking about some way they're going to pay for this thing. Most everybody doesn't carry around $15,000 to $20,000 in their back pocket. So you have to provide that customer some means of a monthly payment situation with a great interest rate, or you've lost him. If you didn't have financing, you'd sell not even half the tractors that we're selling right now. When I start thinking of profitability on these tractors, normally what I kind of consider is, of course, the DSA, the DSI, dealer sales incentive, dealer sales allowance, and then how much money am I going to actually make off this tractor when I sell it. So if you're bringing in a tractor, round numbers, for $10,000, you are not going to sell that tractor for $15,000. You'll do lucky to make it, a 10% profit margin on it. We usually try to make at least $1,000 on each one of our compact tractors and take the DSA and DSI into consideration as part of that profit margin. With last year's volume bonus program, that worked out really, really well. We actually kicked into the highest bracket in the profit or in the volume bonus thing. So at the end of the year, we get a hefty kickback check. Well, that was great. It's something that you don't really take into consideration right then because you haven't made the numbers. But by the end of the year, when you're selling a $20,000 tractor and you're only making $1,000 on it, that doesn't look like a whole lot. When you consider it's taking less of those tractors in order to make up the volume for it, then it looks a whole lot better. Now, trade-ins, of course, you are going to take those into consideration. Just like with a car dealership, you try to take in a trade-in at the least amount of money you can put into it, and then you try to sell it for the maximum amount of money that you can get out of it. So if you made $0, but you got a trade-in to where you can actually mark it up $2,000, then you're making more money on that trade-in than you would have just selling the one piece. You have to do that. If you don't do that, then you're just breaking even. You have to sell two pieces of equipment versus just selling one and making $1,000. So you have to make money on your trade-ins, and you have to take that into consideration for profit margins. Trade-ins are a very tricky situation. If you get too new of a trade-in, then you put too much money into it and the guy could buy a new one. All right, if you get too old of a trade-in, nobody wants that thing anyway. So a good trade-in is something that you can put minimal amount of money in and get maximum amount out of. Most trade-ins that work are front-loader trade-ins, and most trade-ins that work are mid-size tractors. The Cub Cadet Yanmar line in general is great. Now, as that line grows, you have to be willing to grow with it. And if you're not willing to grow with it, you're going to fall behind. Know your specs on all of your tractors. Keep every single one of those tractors in stock at all times, and make sure that you know your customer when he walks through the door. Make sure you know the other brands as well. If you don't know all that, you're wasting your time. If you plan on being a Cub Cadet Yanmar dealer, don't dabble in it. Go wholeheartedly into it. Don't take on one piece but not the other. Don't take on a 450 but not a 450 tractor loader backhoe. You have to have everything on the lot that customer may want. If he doesn't see that on your lot, he's going someplace else. So if you're going to do the line, do the whole line. If you're not going to do the line, stay out of it. If I had to pick one thing that helps me move these tractors, it would probably be the pricing aspect. When we first came out of the gate, we were so far beneath everybody else that it made it a natural choice to go Cub Cadet Yanmar. As we're building some of this product recognition, I understand those prices have to go up. If you take into consideration with product recognition, price goes up, I think that's a win-win for everybody involved. A combination of things helps sell this tractor. Or this line of tractors. It's reliability, it's financing, it's pricing, it's brand recognition. It's not one single thing that helps sell them. It's a combination of several different things, and you have to have that mix there, or else you are not going to sell these tractors effectively. Sure, you'll sell one here or there, but if you don't have that mix, you're not going to sell them. We are very excited about selling the Cub Cadet Yanmar brand. They seem to have great financing, great product reliability, and a good product line in general. We're excited about seeing what's coming new in Cub Cadet Yanmar, seeing some of the bigger tractors, maybe seeing some of the mid-size tractors that are coming in to fill in the line. So the excitement level is very high. We're looking forward to a 2010 season that's going to be so much better than 2009 that it'll just blow you away. If I could run Cub Cadet Yanmar for one day, the first thing I would do would be national advertising. The very first thing. dealer-specific national advertising. If you go on to a cable network or a dish network or things that media is getting into somebody's home, if you have a Cub Cadet Yanmar emblem on the screen and you have dealerships that you can find this product at, and you have a really nice tractor mowing some grass or bush hogging or putting bales of hay into the barn, if you had that to where the American public can see, this is what we're going to do, we're here to stay, that's going to sell you more tractors. In order to keep a dealership involved, you have to get in their wallets. You have to be in a financial standpoint where you can make money on this product. You have to offer that company every single opportunity they can to sell that tractor, be it extended dating on your floor plan, or be it better profit margins on your tractors. They kind of let you decide which profit margin you're going to take. Well, we've opted to take a minimal profit margin in order to move volume of tractors. You are not going to get the retail price out of one of these tractors. You have to set yourself a goal to say, I'm going to get X dollars for X tractor. Then you meet that goal, you have to be satisfied with it. An important factor in trying to get a dealer to come on to the Cub Cadet Yanmar brand and carry that entire line is take away their fear of, we have these very short floor planning terms. If we had what other competitive brands have as far as year floor planning on that, or floor plan banking days or some things like that, I feel like that would put a dealership's mind at ease to bring on a full line, or to, I hate to say dabble in it, but at least bring on some of it and see how successful they can be with it. If you don't have extended floor plan, then you get into a situation where that dealer's scared to death that he's not going to sell that thing within a 6-month period, or an 8-month period, 9-month period, whatever it might be as far as what our floor planning is. If he had something on there that said, you get a year to do this, then at that point I feel like that dealer would be put more at ease. Normally we do not try to sell a service plan with the tractor right up front. In the owner's manual, of course, it's going to tell you when to service the tractor. We try to tell you a rough estimate. You need to change the engine oil filter and oil after 50 hours, or you need to change the transmission after 100. What we're trying to do is get people to come back into the dealership and have a menu pricing for the service that our techs can provide. Now, if you sell parts across the counter, that's great, but your technicians are suffering because of it. What you want to do is make that menu pricing cost competitive enough to where it isn't worth their time to get out here and get dirty when they can let our techs do it. Then we make money both ways. We very much encourage the customer to come back to us for the service end of their tractor. It's kind of something to be said that the technician here at the dealership knows what he's doing more so than what the customer does. That's not always the case in every situation. Some guys are very mechanically savvy. Our guys here have been trained on this. They know what to do. So we're trying to push that customer to bring that back, not only from a financial standpoint of it, but to make sure that it's maintained properly. If you have a tractor that's not maintained properly and it has a problem and it comes back to the dealership for this problem, it's harder to tell that customer, well, you didn't maintain it well, versus it actually just torn up. Well, if it's been dealer serviced, that situation is completely taken care of. It would be all on the tractor and not partially on the customer's behalf that it didn't get an oil change or it didn't get a service at one point or another. One of the ways we're trying to effectively use advertising is through the television media. With television, people can see what your dealership looks like, what your product looks like, and it's right there available for them, and their eyes are taking it in and their minds are processing this. They can hear it on the radio, and sometimes radio works very well, but seems to be that radio only works well for special events. Now, when we have a special event here, of course, we take advantage of radio. As far as brand building, you need to be in a newspaper, you need to be on television, and you need to be on the radio. If you are building this brand, which we're trying to do with Cub Cadet Yanmar, you have to be in front of the person all the time, be it through a flyer, be it through radio, television. But the main thing we're trying to do is get into direct mail, nailing this down to Joe Smith needs this tractor because he fits the profile. If you have that profile, then you can send him a direct mail. Chances are that fella is going to at least check out that brand when he gets ready to do it.